Hi everybody. Today I want to look at how to get your taxonomy going in a systemized workflow. So first things first, what I generally tend to do is to describe broad categories of assets as a starting point. So as you can see from my catalog here, I've got about 26,000 images in here, and I've basically assigned a category to every single one of those assets except the last 80, which I'm going to do now. Okay, so let's just go through it. Over here I've got images of foodstuffs, so let's just select them, add them to my category. Then I've got some landscapes. Right. Next up we have some animals. And then finally some more food groups. Right, so now we know at least every single image has been categorized into a broad strokes category. Right, so my next step now is to select one of these categories. So let's go with portraits or people. And now I'm going to go into keywording. So the first thing that I will do is to create broad categories of keywords. So in my keywords describing portraits or people, I'm going to describe the gender and I'm going to describe the age group. So let's create those tags. So I'm going to create two. It's going to be age group and gender. Okay, and then within age group, we're going to go with infant, toddler, child. Oh, should I go? Let's do toddler or child, teenager, adult, and senior. Okay. And then in gender, you're going to go with male, female, and let's do non-specific. I put in non-specific, that's because there are lots of times when you will see someone from behind or just a body part or something and it's not really possible to tell gender, so just bear that in mind as we go. Now, the power of creating saved searches is that I can combine them and isolate records that have not been tagged. For example, now if I am tagging gender, right, so I'm looking at my people or portraits group, and then what I want to do is I want to exclude sorry, there we go, exclude where there is no gender assigned. And then you'll see as I go along, for example, let's select a couple of, okay, well, let's just do it with this first female tag. And then if I reload the search, then essentially there is one less. So we can go and repeat that process. Right up to there we have male. So I'm just going to check that. And then we have female. Okay, and I've assigned that. Now what I want to do is I want to save this as a search. So I'll call this gender, male, female, or non-specific. Right, and then let me just get to the last lot here. Okay, grandfather, I've tagged that as male, and then just jump through these. That's all couples, so that would be both male and female. Right, so now that I've gone from top to bottom and isolated all the male, the non-specific, and those which contain both male and female, if I refresh my search now, what should essentially be left is only images of female actors in my images. And let's just scroll through it briefly to confirm this. Right, so it all checks out. So now I can just assign the rest of them, select all, and all that remains are female. And we'll let that run to assign the tags and synchronize them back into the file. So just to recap, that's a simple workflow that you can use. You select your category and then exclude keywords from a certain group that you've put together. And as you go, assign through all of them. Now when I refresh my search results, there should be 0 items left, which means if I start filtering now, I can get all my items that I've tagged with female, ones that I've tagged with male, ones that are tagged with both, and ones that are non-specific. Now that would include toddlers and non-identifiable parts of bodies like hands and back portraits where you can't really see gender, etc. It's a very easy and straightforward way of grouping and categorizing your images together.